All right, good evening. I'd like to call the February 9th meeting of County Council to order. Please rise, and Mark Lawson will give us the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing.
Lord, we ask for your blessing. Let us be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to anger. Let us use the wisdom you've given us to make decisions that are best for many and not just the few. Let us protect those who cannot protect themselves. Let us put our pride and personalities aside to do what is best for all those we represent. Lord, please bless the citizens of Beaufort County, its employees, staff, and elected officials, and especially bless and protect our law enforcement and first responders and keep them safe. We thank you for this blessing and allowing us to live in such a beautiful place. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you. This meeting was advertised in compliance with the Freedom of Information Act. I'd like to confirm that with our county clerk.
Yes, ma'am, it was.
All right. I will entertain a motion to approve the agenda as published.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda. And I will second that.
All right. We have a second by Councilman Passman and a motion by Vice Chair. All in favor?
Madam Chair, before we vote, was there going to be an amendment to that to allow Ms. Walls to speak?
I can do that as, well, we can, or I can do that as part of when I call them forward.
Okay, I just want to make sure she be recognized.
Well, if you think we should do it that way.
Yeah, probably be fine. Madam Chair, I'll make a motion to amend the agenda to allow time for Maria Walls, our treasurer, to speak.
Second that amendment.
When would be the best place to put
That
her?
will be at item number 14.
Item 14?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And I'll second
No,
that.
wait a minute. I'm sorry. Is it item 14? Yes, item 14A, yes.
You need a second for that? I'll do
I
that.
believe Mr. Cunningham already.
All right, good.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor of the amendment to allow Ms. Walls, our treasurer, to speak at 14A? And that is unanimous, okay? All right, and we can go forward with the approval of the agenda
As amended.
as amended. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and the agenda is approved. Thank you. We have minutes from caucus and county council dated January 26, 2026. That was in our packet. We have a motion to approve those minutes.
So moved.
We have a motion by Councilman Passman and a second by Councilman Lawson. All in favor of approval of the minutes by show of hands? All right, and that is unanimous. All right, at this time, we have a proclamation recognizing the 250th anniversary of the Battle of Port Royal Island. And Council Member Bartholomew will do that, and I think there's some people here to accept it.
Yeah, come on up. You got anybody with you? Please jump forward. Gentlemen, thank you all for being here. And it's, if you want to stand over here with me or look at the council, whatever. Hey. All right, whereas the year 2026 is the 250th anniversary or semi-quincentennial of the Declaration of Independence and the hostilities associated with the American Revolution. And whereas the Battle of Port Royal Island was the most important Revolutionary War battle in Beaufort County. And whereas the Battle of Port Royal Island was the first land-based victory by the Patriots versus the British in South Carolina. And whereas the location of the battlefield will be the southernmost site for visitors on the South Carolina Liberty Trail. And whereas the diverse coalition of approximately 300 American soldiers was composed of Continental regulars and militia, among whom were farmers, shop owners, tradesmen, watermen, and African American and Jewish soldiers, representing the best ideals in our new nation. And whereas Jim Cavers, an African-American patriot soldier who was a Revolutionary War hero, served in several engagements in Beaufort County, including the Battle of Port Royal Island, as well as the sieges of Savannah and Charleston, the battles of Camden and Eutaw Springs, and probably at the surrender of the British Army at Yorktown. And whereas the right flank of the Patriot forces at the Battle of Port Royal Island was bolstered by nearly 30 Jewish soldiers from Charleston, and whereas 2 signers of the Declaration of Independence, Thomas Hayward Jr. and Edward Rutledge, served together as artillery officers in the Battle of Port Royal Island, the only battle in the American Revolution in which 2 signers of the Declaration fought. And whereas the American soldiers were led by General William Moultrie, the hero of the Battle of Sullivan's Island. Now therefore be it resolved that Beaufort County Council acknowledges the importance of the Battle of Port Royal Island battlefield site, appreciates the South Carolina 250 Commission and the Beaufort County 250th Committee that are leading the celebration, and encourages the good citizens of Beaufort County to enjoy the 250th celebration, which will include activities from 2026 to 2033, dated this 9th day of February 2026, and signed by Chair Alice Howard.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. If y'all like to,
I'd like to offer
yes,
just
by all means.
very brief remarks. Thank
David, will you flip the mic?
The Beaufort 250 Committee is deeply honored by this proclamation. And with me tonight are Randy Atkins, past councilman and council chairperson, Stu Rodman, and Frank Gibson, all serving on the Beaufort County 250 Committee. South Carolina had more battles than any other state during the American Revolution. Beaufort County alone had over 100 engagements. In the Battle of Port Royal Island, here in Beaufort at Grays Hill, was the first Patriot victory over the British in South Carolina. Chairman Howard, Vice Chair Tabernick, Councilman Bartholomew, and to the other county councilmen, we thank you for this wonderful proclamation. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, David.
I'd like to get a picture. Nice to.
In 3, 2.
Madam Chairman, may I have a moment of
Yes.
privilege? I just want to share this with the public. I just found out by Mr. Rodman, and so I don't know whether it's factual or not, but he said that Jim Capers, who fought in the Battle of Port Royal, also fought alongside one of my heroes when I was growing up and watched on TV, was the Swamp Fox. And he fought side by side with the Swamp Fox, Francis Marion. Thank you for that knowledge.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, at this time, moving on with our agenda, we have the administrator's report. Mr. Moore?
Good evening, Madam Chair, County Council. I do have a couple updates, and we have some pending ceremonies and retirements to go through. But first off, I wanted to provide an update on our Human Services Department and our integration with Nexus Care of Beaufort County. Programs where administration is planning to integrate our Reach and Connect and Community Service Grant programs. These transitions and integrations will be accomplished through the FY27 budget process, and that would go into effect on July 1st, 2026, subject to council approval. Nexus Care has the ability to integrate the programs of human services into its existing infrastructure to deliver comprehensive client-centered services. Nexus Care is accredited by the Commission on Accreditation of Rehabilitation Facilities, CARF International, to provide diversion and intervention for adults with substance disorders, outpatient treatment for substance use disorders for children, adolescents, and adults, intensive outpatient treatment for substance use disorders for adults, and prevention programs for substance targeting children, adolescents, and adults. Nexus Care also offers screening for substance use and mental health concerns, as well as assistance with social determinants of health, including medical care, transportation, employment, education, housing, and food. Following screenings, individuals would receive information or referrals to the appropriate community resource. If screening indicates issues related to alcohol or drug use, the individual would be provided with an assessment, which would inform recommendations for treatment and case management. Nexus Care also conducts community outreach through programs at the detention center and mobile response initiatives that engage individuals experiencing housing instability and other needs. These individuals can receive screening and referrals to services and enter into the homeless management information system to collect critical data that helps identify housing needs in Beaufort County. Nexus Care clinical team regularly reviews patient needs and progress and collaborates with community partners to ensure coordinated, effective care. As Resolution 2025-78, Council directed administration to evaluate opportunities to maintain or modestly reduce millage while continuing funding for essential services. During the budget retreat, the CFO also discussed evaluating county special revenue accounts, of which this is one, and I'd like to invite Ms. Harriet to provide an update on that.
So like Mr. Moore said, that we had, during our budget retreat, I had mentioned to council that I was going to take a deep dive into our special revenue accounts, and we have several that we needed to do some cleanup on that were actually being funded by general fund dollars. So, and this is one of them. We were funding it through a transfer in from the general fund to the special revenue fund. So towards the end of the fiscal year 25, after the audit adjustments were made, this one ended up being $178,000 negative in the fund balance. So obviously that means I need to clean it up. We're going to make that adjustment throughout this year. And then it also provided opportunity, after speaking with our Assistant County Administrator of Community Services, as well as Mr. Moore, that there was some services that were connected that were happening under Nexus Care, as well as Human Services. So it looked like it was in a position where we were ready to do some adjustments and merge the two departments together. So for that, obviously, as you guys know, I have to follow GASB guidelines, and I can't let special revenue funds operate with general fund dollars, let alone in a negative. So to avoid future audit findings, we're trying to address the problem now.
Okay. Do you want to take questions at this time?
The last thing I was just going to say, this is, again, a transition through the budget process, and we've notified infected employees, and obviously this will be through the budget. Happy to take questions now, but this will be ongoing discussion throughout budget process.
Do any council members have questions at this time? Yes, Dave.
Mr. Glover can go first. Thank you, Mr. Glover. I've received numerous phone calls regarding this transitional phase here. I just want to get on the record, are all the programs going to continue? Is there going to be any diminution?
The programs will continue. Specifically, I think what you're talking about are REACH and CONNECT. REACH is the unsheltered homeless, and CONNECT is the services coordinator. Those services will continue, as well as the community service grant programs, which council awards every year to organizations that apply through the grant process. So those will all continue.
Then my follow-up question on that, Madam Chair. We're going to continue to have conversations about this, though, right?
Of course.
Okay.
Councilman Glover?
Yes, I am very disturbed, first, so I'm going to say that up front, that we are merging what I consider water and oil, because they have different mission. When I think of alcohol and drugs, Nexus, I think of something different than what I do with human services. And the training and the focus is separate, in particular with the human service department, where I've been a part of that services when I was at Clemson, and also with First Steps, and how valuable that agency has been, that department has been, in connecting people in our community. So they have a different mission, and as far as I know, there's not been a problem with that department, funding-wise, et cetera, et cetera. I've not known that to be a problem up until this year. The source of funding has never come up. but it's come up this year here. So there must have been a history trail that said that this department has been at a deficit of some sort over the years, except for this year right here. So I need answers to that. But at the same time, I also want to emphasize how I think the human service program services is totally different, and their mission is totally different than the alcohol and drugs. There are some overlapping. There's no question about that, especially when you get into the areas of mental issues and concerns and challenges and stuff. But one of the things that the Human Service Department does and does well is that they keep up with the homeless. They coordinate with outside agencies and outside programs and churches to meet those needs. I don't see alcohol and drug basically doing that. So that I have an issue with, and you talked, Mr. Bartholomew talked about the services being diminished. It's hard for me to fathom that you have 5 employees now, and you're going to reduce that down to 2 or 3, and the same services is going to be provided. So you're going to have to help me through all of that and stuff.
Absolutely.
And I don't know whether you can do that today, but you can respond.
I will respond, and I understand your programmatic concerns in terms of what Human Services does. It is not a service delivery organization. It's it connects folks with programs. And as you know, well, you may know, I'm not sure the entire history of when this special revenue account was set up, but since 2023 it is operated at a deficit, and the general fund has had to contribute to the special revenue account every year since then, and it is now has a negative fund balance. So we need to correct that, and that's what Ms. Harriet is stating in terms of the budget. So all this would have to move over to the general fund in order to correct this, and then those positions would be funded out of the general fund that exists today. There's a potential with Nexus Care that is a revenue generating organization that some of that could be offset, some of the general fund expenditures could be offset, but that's really where we are today, if there's anything I missed there.
Yeah. No, they're moving into another special revenue fund with A&D. They're just not going to have their own separate special revenue fund.
Right, I understand what you're doing, but I'm asking the history behind that. Why all of a sudden in 2 years there's a deficit in that department? That's all I'm asking.
Okay.
It wasn't there before,
right,
that I know of.
We'll have to look into that further. I don't have the answer, but
okay,
but that has been ongoing for the last 2 to 3 years.
Right, I appreciate that.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. Any other items under your report?
Yes, ma'am. Assuming there's no other questions on that.
Are there any other? I don't see any.
I did want to highlight that the Transportation Advisory Committee held its first meeting on Wednesday, February 4th here in County Council Chambers. Our next scheduled meeting is Wednesday, February 18th from 1 to 3 p.m. here again. We had, as members of the commission, our committee, we had Lisa Solka representing the town of Bluffton voted as the committee chair. Mr. Glenn Stanford representing the town of Hilton Head was voted vice chair, and Ms. Joy Coe representing County Council District 8 was voted as the secretary. We'll now move into some pinning ceremonies. I'd like to first invite Mr. Robert Herlong, Master Sergeant with the Sheriff's Office with 15 years of service. Good evening. Good to see you. So I'm going to read some career achievements. With 15 years of dedicated service to the Beaufort County Sheriff's Office, Master Sergeant Herlong has demonstrated exceptional leadership as the Crisis Negotiations Team Leader and Project Lifesaver Administrator. His commitment to protecting and saving lives is exemplified by his receipt of the Beaufort County Sheriff's Office Life-Saving Award, reflecting his professionalism and compassionate service to our community. Congratulations. Thank you. I'll give a quick statement.
Smile and drink.
Would you like to say?
I just appreciate the council and being able to serve here. I've enjoyed my time here. It's been a great pleasure for the community and being able to go out into the community and just be a part of it, and enjoyed my time. So thank you.
And can I say, he just did active shooter training in Sun City.
Oh, really?
Yes, with all our employees.
Do you have family and friends here today?
Thank you.
Do you have any family or friends here?
I do.
Bring them up.
Recognize them?
Come on up.
Get a group photo too while you're here.
Thank you.
Okay.
He trained.
Thank you.
Next we have Eric Angsted, Master Sergeant with the Sheriff's Office with 20 years of service.
Wow.
So I'll read some career achievements. Master Sergeant Angsted has been employed with the Beaufort County Sheriff's Office for 20 years. From 2010 to 2018, he served as a patrol canine handler, which remains one of the most rewarding and memorable experiences of his career with the Sheriff's Office. Master Sergeant Angsted notes that working alongside his canine partner, Pazja, each day is a privilege and a tremendous highlight. So, congratulations.
Congratulations.
I like it better over here.
Okay. It's better.
Would you like to say something? Oh, okay.
Okay, now we have some retirements. So first up, we have Joseph Murray, equipment operator with Public Works for 33 years of service. Who else you got here with you?
I'm by myself.
Okay.
So my wife is to the house. She ain't doing so well.
Okay. Family's right here.
So I just come by myself.
Okay, so I'm going to read a few things here, if that's okay with you. All right, so please join me in congratulating Joseph Joe Murray on his retirement from Beaufort County Public Works after 33 years of dedicated and faithful service. Mr. Murray began his career with the county in 1993 as a member of the labor crew, where he helped maintain county landings and support litter control efforts. From the very beginning, no task was ever too hard for him, and his strong work ethic quickly set him apart. His dedication earned him a promotion to loader operator, where he took on the important responsibilities of loading trucks and maintaining accurate inventory of yard supplies. In 1996, Mr. Joe transitioned to operating the bush hog, a role he truly loved and proudly served in for the next 30 years. Throughout his career, his performance consistently exceeded expectations, and he took great pride in every job he did. Beyond his service to Beaufort County, Mr. Murray is a devoted deacon at Ebenezer Baptist Church on St. Helena Island. He has also traveled internationally, participated in mission work through his church. He's a loving husband to Miss Rosa Murray and a proud father of 3 children. Mr. Murray's commitment, reliability, and positive spirit have left a lasting impact on Beaufort County Public Works. He'll be greatly missed by all who had the privilege to work alongside him. Please join us in wishing Mr. Murray a happy, healthy, and well-deserved retirement. Can I get a quick photo?
All I like to say, I certainly enjoy working with Beaufort County. For 32 years and 11 months. I used to do a lot of mowing, for the county, all over Beaufort County. Everything from Hilton Head, Bluffton, name it. Since Helena Island, up there in Big State Shelter, all them places. Bailey, every which way, Gale. I used to mow all them places. But when I first gone on the bush hog, they signed me over to St. Helena and Ladies Island. And I take care of the whole island from Woods Bridge, slap back to Fripp Island. By myself. It got to the place where more people started to move into Beaufort. Yes. Then it was more work was coming in on me. So they gave me a helper. Then me and another guy called Perry, we was cutting together. Then finally, the county decided to buy a truck with a mower. And at that time, I was the oldest bush hog operator they had. So they gave me I want to say, give me the privilege if I want to continue to run the tractor or go on the truck. I tell them I never run no bush hog truck before. But they say, well, think about it, Mr. Joe, and if you want to, we're going to put you on that truck. And I think about it for a month, and they come back and ask me, Mr. Joe, is you make up your mind you want to give that truck a try? I said, yeah, let me try that truck. Because I've been on the bush hog now, must have run about 8 years on the tractor. And I'll come down and let some of the younger guys who come behind me take it over and let them truck on for themselves. And that's what I did. I come down and the county bought the first truck cat December in 2004. And I went on that truck. And I run that truck every which way over Beaufort County. Because that was the purpose of the truck, to jump you all over the county. I own St. Helena Island today, tomorrow I might be to Bluffton.
All right.
The next day I go to Hilton Head.
Okay, that's it. Amen.
Because the truck could have speed over there and come back, and if you ain't finished with what you're doing, then you could go back the next day and take care of your job. A lot of the people then, after they see Mr. Joe was doing such a good job doing that, they decided, hey, we're going to keep him on the truck. Yeah, that's right. All right. And that's what they did. Keep him on the truck. And I've been on that truck ever since. So the county,
Okay, next,
Mr. Moore, two
yes.
things. One, that just made my day. Two, I hope you just learned all that, because he was making sure you knew it.
I don't even know where to start. That's a lot. So next, we're going to recognize for retirement Colonel Quander Grant, Director of the Detention Center, with 31 years of service.
Give a big fan club tonight.
It's the great night.
So I have a few comments, and then there are others who want to speak, and I'm sure some council will like to speak. But first off, as administrator, I'd like to extend my sincere appreciation and congratulations on the well-deserved retirement of Colonel Quander Grant for 31 years of exceptional leadership and commitment to excellence as the Beaufort County Detention Center Director. Her contributions to Beaufort County have been immense, and her legacy will continue to inspire us. As we mark this incredible milestone, we wish Colonel Grant the best as she journeys into retirement and may be filled with joy, relaxation, and spending more time with loved ones. Colonel Grant has served under the leadership of Assistant County Administrator John Robinson, who's here, and he will highlight some of her accomplishments. And then we have Mr. Brian Goff from Senator Tim Scott's office, who will follow Mr. Robinson. But before that, I'd like to present you with your plaque.
All right.
All right, let's hear your truck story.
All right, thank you so much. Good evening. Thank you, Mr. Moore. So I'm going to tell you a few things about Colonel Grant, and you probably all know most of this already, but a lot of folks here don't know how accomplished she really is. Colonel Grant is a native of Beaufort County and an alumni of Battery Creek High School. She earned her associate's degree from the Technical College of the Low Country in Criminal Justice and Public Safety Administration. She also went on to earn her bachelor's degree in social work from Limestone College. Colonel Grant began her career at Beaufort County in March of 1995 as a correctional officer trainee, like all of our new officers start today. Over the course of the past 31 years, a little more than 31 years, right? Just a little. She has advanced through every rank in the detention center. She served in numerous operational roles, including a transportation officer, the booking sergeant, security officer, and many other roles. Colonel Grant was selected to serve as the director of our detention center in November of 2014. Her leadership has been shaped by extensive professional training and certifications, including a correctional fire marshal, investigator, accreditation manager, basic law enforcement instructor. In 2010, she was selected as one of only 5 South Carolina correctional officers to attend the prestigious National Jail Leadership Command Academy in Houston, Texas. Colonel Grant's distinguished service earned her numerous honors, including South Carolina Jail Administrator of the Year, mayoral proclamation designating Colonel Quander Grant Day, and congressional recognition from Congressman James E. Clyburn and Senator Tim Scott. Her impacts extend beyond the facility through service with professional and community organizations such as the South Carolina Jail Administrators Association, American Jail Association, the Collaborative Organization of Services and Adults, which was COSA, which is now as the Connects group that we just talked about earlier, and the Low Country Council of Governments on the Workforce Board. In recognition of her leadership and influence, Colonel Grant was acknowledged nationally for her contribution to publishing an industry textbook, which was the implementation of the Prison Rape Elimination Act. It's a toolkit for other detention centers to use to implement that program. In my years, Colonel Grant has served as the Beaufort County Director of the Detention Center for just more than a decade. My personal view of her performance is one of a professional whose guiding principle for decision-making is caring. She cares for others so deeply. She seeks always to create or find the yes. Sorry. Her responsibility comes with many challenges, but she always chooses to remain focused on doing what's right for every staff member and every inmate that she is charged with protecting. This is a profound achievement that I hope all others can recognize and choose to emulate.
Amen.
Thank you, Colonel Grant.
Yes.
Oh, you need a picture?
Brian Koff would like to say a few words on behalf of Senator Scott, Tim Scott.
Thank you, Council, for allowing me to just come and speak today. When the Senator heard about Colonel Grant's retirement, he wanted to make sure we had somebody here, and he had a letter he wanted me to read right quick for you. Dear Colonel Grant, it's a great pleasure to extend my best wishes to you as you mark your retirement from Beaufort County Detention Center. I speak on behalf of a grateful state in thanking you for your dedication to your community. Having served over 30 years with Beaufort County Detention Center, your tireless work is much appreciated. Your efforts served as an example for all those you met each day. As you begin this next phase of your life, I wish you much success and happiness. Sincerely, Tim Scott, United States Senator.
To say a few words, if you don't mind.
Please do.
Good evening, everyone. First and foremost, I want to thank God for guiding me, strengthening me, and ordaining every step of this journey. 31 years ago, I began a path I never could have fully imagined. And through every challenge and every blessing, God has been faithful. To my family and friends, word will never fully express my gratitude. You have always been there for me. I still remember heading to the Criminal Justice Academy in Columbia. 3 carloads of family members driving together to see me off. I can still feel the pride in their eyes, and that memory will stay with me forever. You believed in me from day one, even when the road ahead looked long. Thank you for your love, your support, and your faith in me. Beaufort County Detention Center is the only jail I've ever worked in, and I am proud of that. I started as a line officer and worked my way up to facility director. It was not an easy journey, especially as a woman in a male-dominated field. There were times when respect wasn't freely given, when assumptions were made before knowing my name or my capability. But I refused to let that hinder what God entrusted me to do. I stood firm, worked hard, and let my commitment speak for me. And today I stand before you with a heart full of gratitude, knowing that what I endured helped open doors for others who will come behind me. To my detention center family, you are a great group of officers. You serve with courage, integrity, and compassion. I encourage you to continue doing your jobs to the best of your ability, even when the hours are long and the work is tough. You are making a difference every day, even on the days when it doesn't feel like it. To County Council, please take care of the dedicated men and women who make this facility run. For the past 2 years, they have worked 48 hours a week due to staff shortages. Unfortunately, this is not unique to us. Jails across the country are facing the same challenges. We are also competing with other agencies within the county whose work, while important, does not carry the same physical and psychological demands that we bear. Before we lose more of our dedicated staff, I respectfully ask that you review the pay structure and make the necessary adjustments to recruit and retain the strong, committed people that we already have. To our volunteers, thank you. You have made our job so much easier and so much more meaningful. Your willingness to give your time, your energy, and your heart to support our staff and the individuals in our care has uplifted this entire facility. Volunteers bring encouragement, compassion, connection, and dignity. They remind us that what we do is part of a greater community and that we are not alone in this work. You truly make a difference, and we are better because of you. To our community stakeholders, thank you for your partnership and your investment in the work of this facility. Your support, whether through resources, collaboration, advocacy, or simply your presence, has helped strengthen our mission and improve the services we provide. The role you play cannot be overstated. Together, we work not just for security, but for community safety, rehabilitation, and hope. I thank God. I thank my family. I thank my detention center family. I thank the volunteers. I thank our stakeholders. And I thank each of you for being a part of this journey with me. May God continue to bless the facility, its staff, and this community as you carry on the work we began together. Thank you.
Madam Chair, that concludes my report, subject to any questions.
Okay. Any other questions for our administrator? Thank you, Colonel Grant. Thank you for everyone who showed up to honor her and the others today that retired. We'll give a few minutes in case people want to leave.
We really had church here. I should have taken do my usher duty, man. And had a
Is Katrina Hannah would like to come forward? And before we do that, I'll just read this about public comment. Every member of the public who is recognized to speak shall limit comments to 3 minutes and observe the following protocol. Address the chairman, and in speaking, avoid disrespect to council and any personalities. Confine themselves to questions under jurisdiction of the council. Be mindful and respectful of those who are present and others who may be watching on television. All right, I'm going to wait a few more minutes till they clear out. We want to hear you.
31 years. Yeah, it looks like he's in his 80s.
Okay. I think we're about got the doors closed. Okay. Go ahead. Miss Hannah.
Good evening. My name is Katrina Hanna, and I am a proud REACH program coordinator for the county. My program was directly affected by the decisions, and while I understand there's hard decisions that have to be made, I did want to publicly state, probably because I've been opinionated since I was a kid, but I promise I'm here with only gratitude, first and foremost, for the experiences I've had so far. The first time I was in this room, I was here maybe a few years ago to talk about what we were hoping to do with the homeless population, and I do believe we accomplished what we said we were going to try to do. In light of the closure of this department and all the work that we've all accomplished together, and while I cannot publicly disclose any specific data or statistics here tonight with you all, I was deeply proud to serve as your outreach system coordinator. I want to place on the record my gratitude for every church, nonprofit, agency, volunteer, and colleagues, some of them of which are here tonight, for everything they did to make our point-in-time count a wonderful success a few weeks ago. I want to publicly also recognize the United Way of the Low Country, Christy Turner, Angela Boswell, Sandy Gillis from Deep Well, John Trent from Family Promise, Pastor June Wilkins from Christ Lutheran Church, Joyce Emmett from All Saints Episcopal Church, all the staff at Help of Beaufort, John and Alyssa Mary of Sea Island Presbyterian. I'm grateful for my entire team, for my husband Cameron and I, who we pray every night that we will be the hands and feet of Jesus in whatever we do. I do intend to remain a voice for the voiceless in our population and for those that are commonly overlooked. And the irony that, at least in this capacity, will not be able to do so due to budget cuts when my population has nothing to bring to the table, has deeply affected me emotionally and professionally, perhaps even spiritually. But I have hope because of all the people that have helped with the point-in-time count, all the people behind us, all the people that are probably watching that couldn't be here tonight, all the people that are probably very emotional. But I do know that the work can continue because I've proven in these year and a half or so that there's a lot of wonderful agencies out there that are willing to step up and be the voice for the voiceless. The only thing I would also like to add, I'm very grateful for Nexus Care as well for all the wonderful work they do. And I do also want to publicly put on the record that I am not 100% sure that they will be able to fill in all the gaps for the vulnerable populations that we serve, and to perhaps, and I'm not saying this happened, but to assume that they can fill in those gaps, to me, makes it seem as if every person that is experiencing homelessness is suffering from those specific needs, and I found that very offensive. There's so much good work to do. Thank you.
Thank you. The next person we have is Miss Carrie Majors. Is there anyone that didn't get to sign up for public comment that wanted to? Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Ms. Majors.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much, Council. And it was exciting to see all those who are retiring. I'm a resident of St. Helena Island. I'm a native. And as I think of the needs for our community on St. Helena, I think of the planned recreational facility, which I call Phase 1, because of the size of it, for one thing, the community center. And prayerfully, there's going to be a Phase 2 that will have state-of-the-art, that will be a state-of-the-art center, of course, with a gym and some indoor sports and recreational facilities going on in there. But along with that, we need a little bit more. We need that cultural art and a marketplace that is being proposed to assist us on St. Helena Island with some needed economic development. So we're looking forward to that as well. It's needed on St. Helena, and we think the people do want it because they have expressed such, and we know that it's forthcoming, and we pray that Council will approve the plans. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Majors. Okay, moving on our agenda. Number 9 is liaison and committee reports. We'll start with Community Services Committee. David Bartholomew.
We actually had two really important agenda items coming out of there. One was sent for further discussion, which was a had a presentation regarding hate crimes and hate intimidation about what the counties have done, what the state has yet to do, but that was a good conversation. It got referred back to see if there was anything we can do in compliance with the law. The other thing that was somewhat controversial, but definitely a cause for concern in this county, was a discharge ordinance regarding firearms. So those are working through the process, and hopefully people come out and share their opinion at the next meetings coming forward about those.
Councilman Glover from Natural Resources, or we also have Councilman McKellen online too.
Right. Yes. There is a couple of things that happened at the Natural Resource Committee, so I would highlight those, and I would allow Mr. McEllen to highlight what he took care of during the agenda process. There was the discussion, and it was also forwarded to council for subsidizing impact fees for anybody who qualified who could not afford the payment of the impact fees, and that is coming before council at our next meeting, and then I think that was it. So, Larry, Mr. McAllen, you want to talk about the other issues that were mentioned in
You're
natural
muted.
resource?
You're muted, Councilman McCollum.
Oh, you want me to continue?
He's muted.
Do you want me to continue?
Happy to do it, York. Thank you very much.
Go ahead.
The chairman of the Green Space Committee appeared before the Natural Resources Committee and made presentations about the applications that were received for about 5 properties. The committee allowed for due diligence to be conducted to begin to appropriateness of the purchases or the conservation easements. The appraisals for those properties that were submitted by application. We then moved forward with a request from the Natural to council for its full approval, and then discovered that it wasn't necessary to do that, and the Natural the due diligence that was requested by the chairman. The next meeting of the Green Space Committee will not take place this month. It's going to be the second Friday in March, when those matters hopefully will be able to come back.
Okay, thank you. And Finance, Councilman Lawson.
Yes, we have, I think, 7 items on the consent agenda, all of them pretty straightforward, from a dump truck to pavement to rejuvenation of paving. So again, those are all in the consent agenda from our last meeting. And then our next meeting will be next Tuesday, because Monday is a holiday, at 2 p.m. here in the County Council chambers.
That would be February 17th.
Yes.
Right? Okay. All right, in Public Facilities, Councilman Cunningham.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. No updates right now, other than the fact that I'll piggyback off what Mr. Lawson just said. Our next meeting is next Tuesday. I believe ours is at 4 p.m.
Okay, do we have any liaison reports?
I do.
Okay.
So
Vice Chairman?
I'd like to report from the school board. They did their points of celebration again, and they received the GFOA Distinguished Budget Presentation Award from the Government Finance Officers Association. It was presented by CFO Tanya Crosby. This is their 12th consecutive year receiving this award, and she held up a 250-page budget report. So that was kind of interesting. And the CLOC, which is the Citizen-Led Oversight Committee, the chair provided an update and report on the projects. And then there was a report on update on early childhood program. There are many things in there, I haven't really kept up with, but the director discussed the traveling preschool bus, the learning lab, purposeful play-based, kindergarten startup, and they're looking to expand pre-kindergarten. And I'll go on if you don't mind. Ms. Howard and myself spoke at the American Association of University Women Beaufort chapter. They asked some questions about County Council's initiatives and what's going on. I'll let Ms. Howard do the Beaufort Hospital. And Mr. McEllen, Mr. Reitz, and I attended an information discussion session sponsored by the Waterways Alliance on Hilton Head, which was very interesting, discussing their thoughts on our proposed ordinance. And then Ms. Howard and I attended the TAC last week.
Yes, the Beaufort Memorial Hospital Board met, and our deputy administrator came and was introduced to them, and they got to ask her some questions about Greenville, I think, and we'll continue to ask about that. The construction of the new facility and buildings is going really well in the Bluffton area, and I think that was about it from the meeting. Any other committee liaison reports? Yes, sir.
Very briefly, Hilton Head Airport Phase 1 is going well, should be completed around the April timeframe. That has the 3 new jetways. Saturday evening, Tom Barnwell, a lifelong resident of Hilton Head, received a nice accolades at the chamber meeting, and I thought I saw Mr. Campbell here, who was there Saturday, but he's, I believe, 100 years old, and he has done an awful lot to preserve Gullah history, and just wanted to give him a shout out. And lastly, our ombudsman for stormwater, Mark Feinberg, is here, and he's been showing up at our meetings, and we thank you for your efforts with stormwater. Thank you. Okay.
I had one more item. The senior leadership part of Clemson University, Mr. Moore spoke to them, and I spoke to them. We always ask them for volunteers for our boards and commissions. And I think we reeled a few in, maybe. So that's a great group of people. They don't have to be retired, but the majority of them are retirees that want to learn more about Beaufort County. Any other liaison reports? Okay, seeing none, we'll move forward. Do I need to read through the things on the consent agenda, or can we have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
All right.
I'll second it.
We have a motion by Councilman Cunningham and a second by Councilman Bartholomew to take all items under A and B in the consent agenda. All in favor? All right, and that is unanimous, so the consent agenda is approved. Number 11, A, public hearing and presentation of the 2026 Community Development Block Grant, or CDBG, by Ms. Michelle Knight, Low Country Council of Governments. Floor is yours.
Thank you for having us tonight. Oh, there we go. Look there. I appreciate y'all taking the time tonight out of your schedule to hold this public hearing to set the county up for the next year for participation in the Community Development Block Grant Program for the 2026 funding rounds for the state Small Cities Program. Let's see here. Well, okay, so the South Carolina CDBG program is designed to provide assistance to units of local government for improving economic opportunities and meeting community revitalization needs, particularly for persons of low to moderate income. The program's been in existence since 1982, and it's funded by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development under Title I of the Housing Community Development Act of 1974. Each year, the program is funded on a formula basis to the state, and then the state sets the priorities for the program. So for this year, the annual allocation is expected to be $20.1 million for South Carolina, and this is for all the non-entitlement areas of South Carolina. Right now, the only entitlement area in our region is Hilton Head. There are a couple communities within Beaufort County that are eligible, but they have chosen at this point not to participate as a direct recipient of funds. So right now, also this year, we are going through the state's 5-year planning process for this program and several other HUD-based programs. this year's program statement is a smaller part of that 5-year plan. The HUD programs that are affected besides CDBG are home, the Housing Trust Fund, HOPWA, which is Housing Opportunities for People with AIDS, and the Emergency Shelter Grant Program. Basically, the public comment draft for this 5-year plan is out right now, and the end date for those public comments are February 19th, so there's still a little bit of time if you wanted to comment on the CDBG program or any of those other 4. So we'd encourage you to do so, and Lisa Huff is the point of contact at the state for comments for the plan. So there are 3 program categories under the state CDBG program. There's community development, business development, and regional planning. And then the community development programs broken into several subcategories, which we're going to talk about for a few minutes. As you can see, the community infrastructure set aside is our spring round of funding, with focus being on water, sewer, drainage, and roads. Priorities are given to existing systems and upgrades of those systems, especially for those systems that have regulatory or compliance issues. Then new service that's extended into dense communities, densely populated communities. And then finally, new service into less dense areas. There is a spring deadline, an application request deadline of March 20th, a full application deadline of April 20th, and the maximum that you can apply for under this program is $1 million, although waivers of that maximum threshold amount can be requested. The community enrichment and local priorities programs are fall round projects. Community enrichment is typically your facility upgrades and construction, regional infrastructure planning, demolition, that could be residential demolition of attractive nuisance properties that are vacant, or it could be brownfield demolitions too. Also, public safety facilities and equipment that are serving LMI areas. And then the local priorities program can be small quality of life projects that can't be funded through the other set aside. Those projects could relate to historic preservation, energy conservation, parks, trails, and greenways. We do a lot of parks in that set aside. The maximum amount that you can apply for community enrichment is $750,000. The maximum under local priorities is $300,000. And there is $7.9 million in community enrichment that you can apply for, potentially, and $2 million in local priorities that's available. And those have August application request deadlines, and then September full application deadlines. The last community development program is ready to go. This is our non-competitive program. We just have to make a request, and then we turn it in within 30 days. The key to this program is that basically, but for having a check in your hand, you could be started in 60 days on a project. So eligible projects are anything that you could do under community infrastructure or community enrichment, but you have to have all of your upfront work done first. You have to have your permitting done, your planning and design done. You have to, if there's acquisition involved, you have that done, your environmental reviews. All those things are done so that you can hit the ground running. Like I said, there's no deadline. There's $750,000 that's available there, and you can apply for up to $500,000, but you can ask for a waiver of that amount. And these are estimates for those set-asides, depending on whether there's money left over from a previous year. There could be more money there, so don't look at it and go, well, they can only fund one project. That's not necessarily so. National objectives, you've heard me mention that. Basically, your 3 national objectives for this program are either you benefit low to moderate income people, a majority of them, you aid in the prevention of slum or blight, or you meet some other urgent community need or health threat. Typically, over 90% of the projects that are funded in South Carolina are based on low to moderate income benefit. And there's a 10% match on all grant requests. Performance threshold right now, wait a minute. I went back the wrong way. Excuse me. So the remaining categories are business development. There's $250,000 allocated there. This is basically the old economic development program where you're providing public infrastructure to a company that's locating or expanding in the area, and they've committed job creation and private investment. And then the balance of the monies that are available are for regional planning, which gives $50,000 annual grants to each of the 10 COGs for us to do these type public hearings and to have meetings with your staff when they have projects before there's really a project, and then the balance is state technical assistance and administration. So again, this year you get additional bonus points in the program if a project's within an opportunity zone. And then talking about performance threshold, basically you can have up to 2 open active projects that are less than 30 months old and still apply for a third project. This doesn't include your regional planning grant. If Beaufort County was the grantee of record for that, you're not. Or an economic development project grant if you have one, which you don't. Right now, but for one project that the county has that's over 30 months, y'all would be eligible. And my understanding is that project, I think, is still in an acquisition phase. It's a sidewalk project that y'all have been working on for a little while now. So, talking more about the performance threshold requirements, you can have only one streetscape project at a time, only one non-competitive project at a time, and you can have no more than one project in the same general target area. So that's the other performance requirements. Also, just as a reminder, y'all do not discriminate in your fair housing activities. If you have someone who comes to you and thinks that they have been a victim of discrimination related to fair housing, you can have them contact us at Low Country Council of Governments, and we'll be glad to talk to them about what their concerns are, and then send that matter on up if it needs to go any further than us. And then finally, you hear me talk about low to moderate income and what low to moderate income means. So in Beaufort County, a family of 4 that makes less than $88,100 a year would be considered low to moderate income. This year we put, for comparison, your other 3 counties, Beaufort County has the largest income limit threshold, just based on the demographic of the area. But if you look in comparison, Colleton County, for the same family of 4, their threshold is $54,400, and then Jasper County, I think it's $60,800. So just to give you an idea in comparison what each of the 4 counties have to do to meet threshold as far as being low to moderate income qualified. I'm going to speak just a few minutes about the Home Consortium as well. As y'all know, Low Country Council of Governments serves as the managing agent for the Beaufort County Low Country Regional Home Consortium, and it's comprised of all 4 counties and all of our municipalities in the region. We are currently in our 20th year serving the Low Country with the consortium, and this year we're also due, just like the state updated their consolidated plan, we're also due to update our consolidated plan. So as I've said before, for our typical activities under the consortium have been rehabilitation of substandard housing, increasing accessibility to adequate and affordable housing, and supporting the development of safe, decent, and affordable housing, new housing. I would encourage y'all to, again, if you have any comments that you want to bring forth about housing needs in particular, separate from your community development block grant ranking for this year, to please send those to my attention at LCOG, to my attention or Tiffany Dantzler's. And then also, I would mention to y'all, it's our intent to send out a survey related to the home consortium probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks. I'd encourage you to send that survey out not only to individuals but agencies that serve for housing activities, so that we can get input for the consolidated plan for our consortium for this year. Other than that, I have no other comments.
Okay, open it up for questions or comments. Yes, Councilman Glover.
Yes, Ms. McKnight, thank you for your presentation. Just a couple of areas of interest for me. The first one is dealing with, and I'm not too sure which program would be fitting, but what came up was the community enrichment program, and looking at a home or trailer or mobile home that needs to be removed because of unsightly and either through fire or whatever, but it just sits there in a community, and of course the community wants to have that removed.
Well, the county could put together an application for a demolition project, and you could target a specific area of the county and scatter sites within that area that's majority low to moderate income and do that sort of thing. I'd say that you have to go through and follow your code enforcement first in terms of trying to get the removal done, and then be willing to potentially condemn that property if you need to. And it has to be vacant. We have to be able to establish that it's vacant. But you don't have to own the property to do that. Now, if you were going to do something like a larger scale demolition, say of a brownfield area or something like that, that would have to be publicly owned for you to get grant funds to clear it. But to be able to just do residential properties that are vacant and dilapidated and cannot be repaired, that are attractive nuisances, that could just be a standalone project of several. We've done that in a number of communities. We haven't done one in Beaufort County, but we've done it in Hampton, we've done it in Yemassee, we've done it in Walterboro. We've done it in Hampton County. They focused on an area too, so it can be done.
And so the owner who's abandoned, the community as a whole can move forward working through the county to start with the county code enforcement first?
You've got to start with the county code enforcement, and I imagine your code enforcement department could give you a long list of properties that need to be demolished for whatever reason, and that's where I would start, and then I'd look at where those addresses are and see if you could target an area, because if you said you were going to do Beaufort County as a whole, that would probably be too big. But you know, we've done as many in a project as many as 30 units at one time.
And my other concern is there somewhere in your presentation you talked about assisting with looking at a failing septic system? Is that something that could be, and how would you go about doing that?
The only thing that we could do there is if there was a desire to extend service into a neighborhood that didn't have it, and you had record of failing septic systems, that could go toward the cause of getting people off of a private septic system and onto public sewer. I mean, that's what's been done over the years in Bluffton, at Buck Island, and Simmonsville.
But you have to be, you have to have that sewer service available to you for that to happen. So when you are in the rural area, is there any assistance or aid?
Well, I mean, you can get grant funding to extend sewer just like you do water, but the question is the cost and the will to do it. And Beaufort Jasper, I think, would have to be involved in that in terms of prioritizing areas. So, I mean, it's a project that's doable.
For sewer, right.
For sewer or water. If you needed water and you had failing wells, you could do the same thing, to extend
that
it.
part, yes. I was dealing with the area that would not have sewer, and if you have a failing septic system. But you answered my question. Yeah.
Right. As long as it's something that's being prioritized by your utility, and the county's willing to support the grant, and it's not an area that's. I think you have some areas that are designated as conservation districts, so you don't want sewer out there because it could speed up development, or that you did it one time, you meaning the county. So, I mean, you'd have to look at those things, but the biggest thing, or the first thing, is Beaufort Jasper would need to be a priority for them too, because they're your water and sewer utility of record.
Okay.
Any other comments or questions? I had a question for the administration. Who will coordinate with the LOCOG on grant applications this year? Will it be our grant administrator?
It will be through the CFO or our grants administrator.
Okay. And where are the pathway sidewalk that's still not been?
That's Stewart Point.
Stewart Point, that's what I thought. Okay, I wasn't sure. Any other questions or comments? We appreciate you conducting the public hearing and answering our questions.
And then y'all will go back and get a ranking through committee and bring it back, I'm assuming, with Allison, with the grants administrator's involvement.
And you said we needed to do a survey for housing too?
I'm going to send that out. That's separate from this. I will send that out as kind of a mass email and ask that you share it, and we'll probably have it up on the COGS website for a period of time.
Okay.
Okay? Not unlike what we did with the state's survey that you saw through the board meeting, and that QR code. We're going to do something similar like that
For housing needs.
For the housing consortium for our region.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thanks. All right, next on our agenda is approval, it's 11B, approval of supplemental funding in the amount of $40,000 for Beaufort Water Search and Rescue. Do I have a motion? Do we need a motion to discuss?
So moved, Madam Chair.
We have a motion by second and a second by Councilman Lawson. All right.
Right. As we discussed, this is a request from Beaufort Water Search and Rescue, and they're requesting the $40,000 that they missed requesting during the budget process for fiscal year 26. And as you can see, currently we're utilizing council's contingency line item for this request, so I was asked to bring it forward today. Any questions?
Questions?
I do have a question, but is anybody here from?
Yes.
Is that what all the blue shirts
That's what the blue shirts are.
Okay, so I did talk to Mr. Canning, and he answered a lot of my questions. But I noticed in the backup documents, you have 6 boats north of the Broad and 2 boats south of the Broad. Is that correct? Do you use all 6 of those boats? I guess I'm questioning that.
One of you want to come up to?
Yeah, want to come up and talk?
Mr. Canning? Is that?
I figured that's what all the blue shirts were. I got it. So you have 6 boats north of the Broad. Are they all housed in Port Royal?
Yes, at 817 Paris Avenue.
And you use all 6 of those?
Absolutely.
So the $40,000 is to do what?
Okay, so we have 2 boats south of the south of the Broad, right, that are stationed at the fire station.
Fire station.
So both of those boats have exceeded their service life, basically. They require more repair, more and more. They're getting old. They're not as reliable as they used to be. They need to be upgraded. One of them is a Carolina skiff, which is not designed to be in rough water. That's the only one we could send to Bluffton. That one needs to be replaced almost immediately. It's just not. We don't go out when it's nice, in other words. So if you're dealing with rough water, a flat bottom boat is not the best thing to use. So that's why we need to replace that one. We, of course, will sell that one to obtain some money, but we obviously can't take that money and buy another boat. It's just not enough money. Also, the other thing we were working for, I think did I answer your question?
Yeah, but what's a new boat cost, or do you buy a used boat?
We would have to buy a used boat. We can't afford to buy a new boat.
Because
We've
$40,000.
never had a new boat.
Okay.
Now, we did receive some ATAX money from City of Beaufort. We'll use that as well to go towards that purchase.
Okay.
You know, even a nice used boat in the 20 to 23 foot range, you're looking 60 grand easy, 50 to 60. So, you know, boats are expensive, unfortunately. So to answer your question about do we use all the boats? Yes, we do, because not every boat can be used for every situation. That's why we have several different sizes, several different types for what they do for the mission. Depending if we're going to shallow water, rough water, deep water, it all comes into play as to what boat we send on each specific mission. That's why it takes so many to do it.
And you are planning to ask for some funding from Hilton Head?
We're working on that. I think Patrick is working on that right now.
That's what he told me. Okay.
Yes, he is working on that. Any more questions?
Any other questions?
I have kind of a question and comment. One, I want to thank y'all for everything that you do. I really and truly appreciate it. I also want to acknowledge I had a technical error on my part. The town of Port Royal wrote a support letter for y'all. I tried to disseminate that last Friday. It was not part of the backup material. And like I said, I had an error with I found out today that it didn't go out until today. So I want to apologize to the council for that, but the town of Port Royal, I want to acknowledge that they did right on y'all's behalf to support you with this allocation.
Awesome.
And I appreciate everything they're doing. And for the future moving forward, I'm not trying to bind anybody, but I have had conversations with the sheriff. He has acknowledged the work that you do and the service you provide. Hopefully moving forward, we can put you into a line item underneath his budget in order not to have to do this issue again.
Understand.
So, like I said, I don't want to speak for him and his CFO and let the staff do that thing, but I did want to let you know that conversations are being had.
Understand. Thank you, David.
All right, thank you. Yes, sir.
Any other questions? And the source of funding?
It would be county council's contingency line item.
No, okay.
You have a balance of 72,000 and some change, and 40,000 would, if you vote, would go to these.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second, and we had discussion. By show of, do we need a roll call vote? No? Okay. All in favor of the motion by show of hands? And that is unanimous. Okay, thank you.
So that leaves $32,665 in the contingency fund. Everybody needs to know that.
Thank y'all for coming tonight, too. We appreciate it.
Thank you for coming. I wondered what all the shirts were. Good.
All right, we are in 11C, reappointment to the Bluffton Township Fire District for a 4-year term with an expiration date of February 2030. Joseph Paola, just like it's spelled. Term to be served. This will be the 4th term. Do we have a motion?
So moved, Madam Chair.
Motion by Councilman Cunningham. A second?
From Joe.
Joe, okay. All right. Any discussion?
Nope.
All in favor by show of hands? And that is unanimous to reappoint Joe Paola to serve a 4th term. Okay, I'll turn it over to you for ordinances.
Thank you. Ordinances for second reading. 2026/02 is an ordinance authorizing the county administrator to execute the necessary documents and provide funding for the purchase of real property located at 1451 Ryboat Road, TMS number R110-009-000-0031-0000 from Drayton Parker Companies, LLC, in the amount of $700,000 plus closing costs. And I'd like to have a motion, please.
So moved. And I'll second that.
Thank you for the motion and second. The public hearing will be at the 3rd reading, I'm told. The vote on this at Finance Administration Committee on January 20th was 9-0, and the vote at first reading on January 26th was 11-0. Does anyone have a question they need to ask of Mr. Fralix? I think we've already come down this one.
Thank you.
All right, any other comments? All right, let's call the vote. All those in favor of this ordinance 2026-02? All right, thank you. Ordinance 2026-03 is an ordinance authorizing the acceptance of a drainage easement located on Leo Green Road. The vote at Public Facilities and Safety Committee on January 20th was 10-0. Can I have a motion for this one, please?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Passman. And a second? Mr. Bartholomew. It's motioned and seconded. Mr. Bauer is going to talk about this one, or Mr. Fralix? Okay, you're up.
Good evening. This is a drainage easement out on off county-owned Leo Green Road. It's needed to improve conveyance in the system. We already own the associated roadway, and just in the neighborhood where it would help our stormwater flow and traverse the area. So it's in kind with our other drainage easements and in kind with the drainage that we already have in the region.
Anyone have a question or comment for Mr. Fralix? All right, let's call the vote. All those in favor of ordinance 2026-03. Raise your hand. Thank you. 2026-04 is an ordinance authorizing the private road acceptance of Somerset Point Phase 2 HOA roads, Cowbird Court, White Ibis Drive, White Heron Drive, Turn Road South, Sandpiper Drive, Fox Sparrow Road, and American Avocet Court, and they would like to come into the county road inventory. Can I have a motion for this ordinance?
So moved, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Bartholomew. And a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Passman. 2026-04 has been motioned and seconded. We've already discussed this before. It was voted at the public facility was 3-7, 3 in favor, 7 against. Anyone have a question or want to ask Mr. I guess Mr. Fralix will be up for this one if there's a question. Question or comment?
I'd just like to make a comment. I will vote against this again.
I'll reiterate, I don't know if anybody from the neighborhood is here. I did speak with them today, some representatives for the HOA. I understand the concerns about taking this secondary road system or Phase 2 into the county inventory. The issue, though, is Phase 1 was already incorporated into the county. Phase 2 obviously was built with standards that were state specs, county specs, whatever you want to call it, but it was always the intent, it was built with the intent to be absorbed into the county road system. I understand that the CTC voted not to fund that, which I recognize creates a problem for future maintenance on it. But it's my understanding that these roads right now in Phase 2 are in a good condition. And it is going to create significant issues out there to have part of the Phase 1 HOA in the county and part of the Phase 2, part of the HOA. So I think that discrepancy, I'm not worried about any other neighborhood really coming forward. I don't know if there's another neighborhood like this in the county. So I think this is probably a unique situation. But I understand the vote before. I understand the position. The neighborhood understands the position as well. I just wanted to advocate on behalf of my constituents in the neighborhood out there at Somerset.
Any other comment? Yes, Mr. Lawson.
Just to mention again, I do feel for this community. However, it was councils before us that made the change when it comes to our policy. And being in Bluffton, I think I've probably got 6 or 7 communities that were built the same way that thought they were going to be able to turn their roads over. Mm-hmm. Even the community I live in Heritage Lakes, but Heritage Lakes and Hidden Lakes and all these, I can keep going on and on, of communities in Bluffton that would love to turn over their roads to the county, and there's a cost for that. So again, that is why it was a policy set forward before us not to do that. So again, I completely feel for these folks, but again, I'm going to say no and stick to the policy we have in place.
Any other comment, question? Mr. Glover?
Yes, ma'am, Madam Chairman. I voted against. I'm going to vote against again, but I think that. And it could be through I don't know which committee this would be under, but that whole issue of county roads accepting private road, I think that's a discussion that we should really have and affirm or change our policy toward that end. So That's what I'm going to say to that. I think it should be some discussion, and if we affirm that policy, we affirm that policy. If we think that there should be some changes to that policy, then let's make those changes. So, thank you, Madam Chairman.
Mr. McEllen, go ahead.
Could you just confirm for me the vote that was taken, Jack?
It was 3 in favor, 7 against.
Okay, and with regard to Mr. Bartholomew's position,
That the Phase 2 road system be incorporated into the county, absorbed into the county road system, because Phase 1 of the HOA is in the county road system, county system.
so your vote tonight would be a yes?
Correct, yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
So I will comment on page 253 of the packet. At the end of the AIS, it says, staff has looked into the original Phase 1 development permit to determine if any provisions were agreed upon that the county would accept the roads and storm drainage infrastructure for future phases. No provisions or agreements were found. And I am voting against this ordinance as well.
Madam Vice Chair, if I may, just going back to the policy statement, and I do agree we probably need to look at it, but I do want to mention they followed the policy. So it is a policy for us to analyze these exact situations and look at whether or not to accept it into the road system, the county road system. So, I mean, they followed the policy. They met the criteria. If they didn't, they wouldn't be on the agenda. So the policy was effective. They met the criteria, and it's before us today. So I just want to say the policy is working, but I'm always happy to go back and see if we can make things better.
Anyone else? Comment? Question? All right, do I need let's do a roll call vote because we're split.
Councilmember Bartholomew?
Yes.
Councilmember Passman?
No.
Councilmember Reeds?
Yes.
Councilmember McEllen?
No.
Councilmember Lawson?
Mark Lawson, no.
No.
Councilmember Cunningham?
No.
Councilmember Brown?
Yes.
Vice Chair Tabernick?
No.
Chair Howard?
No.
The motion fails.
Thank you. Motion fails. All right, ordinance number 2026/05 is an ordinance authorizing the abandonment of a drainage easement recorded in Deed Book 3695 at pages 3345 to 3347 and Deed Book 3695 at pages 3348 to 3350, located off Gumwood Drive in Northern Ladies Island.
So moved, Madam Chair.
Thank you,
Vice
Mr.
Chair.
Bartholomew.
Second.
And Mr. Cunningham, second. So 2026-05 has been motioned and seconded. The vote at Public Facilities and Safety Committee on January 20th was 9-0. Any comments on this or questions? Okay, thank you. Then let's take the vote. All in favor of 2026/05. All right, thank you. That concludes our ordinances, Ms. Howard.
Okay, thank you, Vice Chairman Tabernick. Number 14A, we had amended our agendas to have our elected treasurer to speak. This is 2025-63, a resolution regarding the Beaufort County Personnel Handbook, Section 3.3, remote work/telecommuting policy. The vote at the Finance Committee and Economic Development Committee on October 20th, 2025 was 7-0. The vote at County Council to remand the resolution back to the Finance Committee on November 10th, 2025 was 11-0. Then the vote at the Finance Administration and Economic Development Committee on January 20th, 2026 was 9-0. And we will have our treasurer speak first, and then our HR, Ms. Mead, will speak second. Thank you.
We need a motion.
I need a motion, yeah.
I'll make the motion.
All right, we have a motion by Councilman Passman. Do we have a second?
Second that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Before we have anyone speak, the information that was provided to us, item 4C, states, currently, there is a pending motion for rule to show cause that Ms. Walls believes that the attached injunction order, which I do not see, prohibits us from taking any action. I would like our county attorney to weigh in on that statement.
Would it be best going to executive session to obtain legal advice?
All right, do you want to make a motion to go into,
I will make the motion to go into executive session in regards to
for legal advice?
I'll
for
second.
legal
And a
advice.
second.
I'll second that.
Second by Councilman Bartholomew.
Madam Chairman, could I?
Clear, it's related to the pending litigation in the case of Walls versus Beaufort County and the remote work.
Correct.
Correct.
Madam
Okay.
Chairman, could we exhaust the remaining items on the agenda and then go into executive
Without
session?
amending the agenda, I think we need to go, yeah.
Let's go.
This won't take long.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All in favor?
All in favor, though. We have to have a vote. All in favor going into executive session? All right.
Sarah, can you set up council meeting volunteers?
Of course.
Oh.
Okay. We had no matters arising out of executive session. We are back in regular session. At this time, we're going to have Ms. Walls come up, and we have kind of agreed, including questions, about 10 minutes. Okay?
Some data points on here in case you ask me about them. So, good evening. Thank you so much for giving me time to speak. Because there may be some members of the public watching who don't know who I am or the role that I play in county government, I am Maria Walls. I serve as the Beaufort County Treasurer. I've been a certified public accountant for over 20 years. For the past 15 years, I've focused my career on building and developing high-performing teams in public service. I'm also a senior certified professional with the Society for Human Resource Management, and over the past 11 years, I've been recognized with 14 professional awards for performance, innovation, and service. I share that not to elevate myself or my team, but to make it clear that the perspective we're offering this evening is grounded in experience, data, and a deep commitment to serving our county well. I cannot control what you decide tonight, but what I can do is ensure you are making a decision based on facts. Accurate information, particularly as they relate to the elected offices and the employees who serve our citizens every day. The Treasurer's Office has had virtual employees, if you don't mind, Sarah, to the next slide, thank you. This is a summary. The Treasurer's Office has had virtual employees since 2017 and out-of-state employees since May of 2019. This has not been a secret. It's been discussed in Finance Committee meetings, council meetings, as well as the numerous places I've gone to speak in the community. Today, we have 3 out-of-state employees, each with an average of 5.5 years of service to Beaufort County. They were all hired locally, trained locally, and lived in Beaufort County for years before relocating. We do not recruit out of state. We hire locally, and you can ask any one of our staff. We take investment in our people very seriously. These team members alone have handled 52,000 customer interactions. That's 27% of our 198,000 total interactions, while our office has earned a taxpayer satisfaction rating of 96.3 in the past year. Most notably for you, our collection rate consistently exceeds 99% every year. Given that the average vacancy costs us $2,850 to $4,460 to fill each one. And that does not include the cost of onboarding and training. Our staffing model has allowed us to maintain our service levels for our customers, avoid budget increases, and reduce turnover-related costs. This success is the result of intentional communication, constant performance monitoring. I could spend an hour just telling you the metrics that we monitor and review throughout the day, week, and month, and clear expectations. This is not by chance. I also need to address the legal context, and I understand you were in executive session, but the public was not. In December of 2024, a circuit court judge issued an order prohibiting the county from taking actions, in my opinion, that negatively impact the employment of our out-of-state employees. Despite that order, the county has continued to pursue this policy as it's written in the agenda packet this evening. I filed a motion for rule to show cause, which in layman's terms is essentially notifying the court that we believe the county is violating the court's order and should be held in contempt. If this policy is adopted tonight without an exemption for elected offices, we will have no other choice but to proceed accordingly. It's also important to clarify the human resources, if you don't mind, Sarah, going to the next slide, please. Yep, thank you. Human Resources has been notified of our out-of-state employees at least 11 times in the past 5 years. Again, like I said, no surprise. Without raising concerns about labor law compliance or tax withholdings until recently. Once these concerns were raised, I immediately retained legal counsel and pursued payroll solutions. All of this has already been done and was done within our existing budget. Any area in which there may be a risk can be managed responsibly, and I'm happy to elaborate on that during the Q&A. Finally, while administration has referenced aligning with the state executive order limiting virtual work, elected offices are not state agencies. It is not my desire or responsibility to mirror other governments, but to deliver reliable and effective services to the citizens who elected me. And those of you up here on the dais know me. I do not mimic other governments. I set the standard for other governments. My request tonight is narrow and specific. I'm asking council to amend the proposed telecommuting and disaster pay policy to exempt elected offices, allowing elected officials to approve virtual employees and determine who is essential to our operations, including those who live out of state, so long as that elected office notifies human resources of the employee's work status and covers any associated costs within its council-approved budget. This amendment preserves council's intent while recognizing the constitutional independence and accountability of elected offices. Tonight, I'm asking for flexibility grounded in facts, law, and demonstrated results. An exemption for elected offices protects Beaufort County, our operations, respects the voter's choice, and allows proven operations to continue without disruption. Thank you for your time in considering this amendment, and I am happy to answer any of the questions that you have for me this evening.
Have any questions?
I have a question. Nobody else is going to jump in. And this is more directed to our staff than you, but how much have we spent on this litigation to date? And approximations are fine. Is nobody going to answer it? Is it upwards of $450,000? Is that correct?
It's in excess of that.
In excess of $450,000 on this litigation?
Yes.
Of taxpayer money. And here we are looking at, what, $2,800 to fill a vacancy or keep an employee?
Mm-hmm. An active duty service member's spouse.
$450,000. I'll leave that right there. I hope somebody else has some questions.
Chairwoman, can I say something?
Sure.
Ms. Walls, I don't know how to bring this all together, but I'm an elected official now for 3 years, and I'm telling you, I spend the time with the people. I don't care where it is, at church, Publix, anywhere. And I've heard nothing but praise for the way you've treated the people here, how you've changed things for the better. And I'm here tonight to tell you that I'm asking my colleagues to come together to support you and actually get the heck out of your way and see what we can do to help you to further help and protect and preserve the people we serve. My colleague talks about money. I don't like to damage your attitude or the way you approach your job, and quite frankly, getting to know you for 3 years, I know that won't happen. But I'm telling you, it's shocking to me that I've learned a lot. I've made some missteps here and there, but learned a lot. And one thing I do know is that people appreciate passion and honest work for them. And, you know, I've heard nothing but good things, and here we are. We want to cut you back or upset. It makes no sense to this country bumpkin. But anyway,
Do you have a
thank you for your time. No, listen, I'll make statements. I can make a statement here, can I?
You did. You have. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Yes. Chair? Councilman. Oh, I was going to let Council.
They can have it first.
Okay. Councilman Cunningham?
Perfect.
And then I'll let Ross.
I just want to ditto what Mr. Reese said. This county has a lot of problems, as we all know. You know, we're dealing with problems all the time here out in council. And one thing that remains steady is the treasurer's office.
Thank you.
And just think about this. Maria Walls manages the county's money, and she does an excellent job at it. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Okay. I saw Councilman Lawson. You know, like Councilman Cunningham, go ahead.
Fine either way. Sure. This has been going on for years. What, honestly, the most annoying thing about all this, and I genuinely mean annoying, is that I'm a firm believer you can put me in a room with anybody and I disagree with every single one of them and I'll still treat them with the same respect, same conversation. I'll be very upfront. I'm very blank. It doesn't matter. Anybody that's known me over the years knows that. I've butted heads with you. I've butted heads with every single person up here time and time again without losing my cool, without anything like that, because we still have a job. It's more annoying that I have to go back and forth with a staff member or another colleague up here when they want to put another member up here down or try to cut their time short when we all have the same job and the same description. So I'm going to say that first part. Secondly, I supported your budget the first time before this lawsuit was even set, because 2 weeks prior to that, we just got done giving you an award for how great your office has been doing. I don't know how to run that department. I'm never going to pretend like I do, and I guarantee you nobody up here does. So it's not my job to tell you how to do your job. If it's being successful and the funds are being managed and we're coming out ahead, something's going in the right direction. So everyone already knows where I stand. You guys know where I stand on this. Let's get this done. Let's grandfather in the employees we have. Let's stop dictating government officials how to do it. The only agreement, and I'll be honest, we agreed with me, you, and a couple of the elected officials about where the pay for vacancies, where's that money go? Is it held over? That's something you and I debated over, but we still got the job done.
Yep.
And not held it over each other's heads, whether we agreed or disagreed. So, David, I think the floor is yours after Mark's done, but
Yes, Mark is next.
All right.
If you were, or do you have anything else?
totally fine.
Okay.
Just a question of, I think I've heard the answer, but I forget what it was how many employees do you have total?
In total or out of state?
Total. We know you have 3 out of state, but total.
So when we're fully staffed, including myself, 36.
And I'm for, as Logan just said, grandfathering. Obviously, these 3 employees, even from your information right here, has done 1/4 of all the work from your office.
Correct.
Of your employees. So 3 of them have done 27%
Yes.
of your thing. So again, if you want to make a motion, I'll make a motion. Obviously, that we can look to grandfather in at least those 3 employees.
I do have a question.
Sure.
I'm not trying to get into the litigation or try to solve that particular problem, but would a grandfather work for these employees? And I know you said you had to try to hire local. Would that solve this particular problem with a grandfather, or would a more blanket policy put in place? What would be better to solve the problem?
So if you would like to resolve that aspect of the litigation, addressing it in the policy in a full blanket manner like I've requested in the presentation would address that. But if that is not what council desires at this time, my heart is for my people. And I can tell you right now, I'm not going to let you terminate these people. I will fight you tooth and nail, and I'd rather not do that. So if the next best thing would be to grandfather these employees in while we resolve the litigation.
So without getting into the litigation, if we were to grandfather that in, that would solve this particular issue right here, right now, at least?
At least temporarily, yes.
Okay. And then we could continue to work together to try to resolve this, rather than, I understand you got to continue litigation, not trying to put you on the spot. But
Oh, you can't put me on the spot. I can talk about whatever I
Well,
want.
I hope that we can come together and resolve this, because ultimately your attorney's going to be paid by the taxpayer. Our attorneys are going to be paid by the taxpayer. The only people that lose in this situation are the taxpayer.
For the record, my attorneys have not charged anything.
I'm sure they will at some point in time with an affidavit. So anyway, is there anybody else that would wish to speak? Because I can make a motion right now. I'd make a motion to amend policy 3.3 to allow for a grandfather provision for the 3 employees that you have in your particular staff.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion? Yes,
Yes,
Councilman Glover.
When you talk about grandfather, I understand grandfather to mean that those that are currently in that situation remains there, but no more. I've not heard of a grandfather that would allow new situation to occur and then be called grandfathered.
That's correct. That's the basis of the motion and the previous question that I had to her. While it seems that there's going to be more work for us to do, this solves the problem that's presented immediately.
Temporarily,
Yeah,
yes.
temporary fix for this right now.
And so I appreciate you answering that question. And so with that, I do have, Ms. Walls, and I'll let you know that I do have problem with outside employees like this, so I'm going to be voting against the motion that's on the floor. Okay.
What do you mean by outside employees?
Employees that are not within the state. So I do have problems with that, so I'm going to be voting against the motion itself. Yeah.
Councilman Cunningham?
Yeah, just to the motion itself. I understand this isn't a fix-all, but my goal is the same as David's, is to end the lawsuit. I'm tired of wasting taxpayers' money. I'm tired of us wasting so much time on that. We could actually be getting something accomplished. I didn't get up here I didn't run for county council to go back and forth about lawsuits every other week, but it seems like what we're doing, we're not actually getting things accomplished. So if that's what we're doing here, then all 11 of us need to leave anyways. So if this is a step for us to get this resolved, and hopefully that's what I want to do, to get this done. I mean, I've already said what I believe when it comes to elected officials. I'm an elected official. Nobody should tell me how to run my stuff. I would feel the same way about other departments. I've been very upfront about that. So if this is step one to getting that done, at least to this point, so we can get back to business while we deal with the court proceedings, then I'm all on board.
Any other comments?
The reason this has come up is because the state changed their
Yes,
laws.
I was going to say that. Thank you for saying that.
We were looking for a fight. We were not looking for a fight. This is a rule change that came from the state legislature.
That we're not required to adopt. It's a chosen adoption.
There's a reason why that they came up with that.
It's okay.
law, so, okay.
We can dare to be different.
Councilman Lawson, thank you for that comment. I was going to make the same comment. This came up through the changes after COVID and people going back to work. I have a lot of reservations about this because I think it opens up the door with a grandfathering. You tell us this may or may not. I think that opens a big door for other employees and other departments too. All right, we need to have a roll call vote. Is there any other discussion?
I make one more statement, 5 seconds, I promise.
That's okay.
Totally agree about with COVID and not COVID, but I just want to remind everybody during COVID, I sat in this room by myself with staff for 4 months.
That's not why I said that. I said that's why the state governor.
And the state also shut
Changed
things
their-
down when I didn't agree with the state either.
Yeah, but that's why they have gone back to
Just
this
putting it out there.
policy. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Anyone else have any comments? All right, you want to repeat them?
I can't remember verbatim, but essentially the motion is to allow for the 3 employees that are currently operating remote to continue to do so and be grandfathered in underneath
Until-
policy 3.3.
They're operating virtual, not remote.
Oh, remote, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Virtual.
And we had a second. Okay. All right, and Ms., can you do a roll call vote?
Yes, ma'am. Councilmember Bartholomew,
Yes.
Councilmember Cunningham,
Yes.
Councilmember Reeds,
Yes.
Councilmember Passman,
No.
Councilmember McGowan,
Couldn't hear you.
Hear you, Larry. You're mute.
Mute, Larry.
Councilmember Lawson,
Mark Lawson, yes.
Councilmember Glover,
No.
Councilmember Brown,
Yes.
Vice Chair Tabernick,
Yes.
Chair Howard.
No.
The motion passes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you all.
All right, next on the agenda.
I think we need to call the question now, right? For the actual item amended?
Yeah, it
Oh, yeah,
is now
that's right.
the remote policy as amended.
Yes,
To
all
allow-
right, we have a motion to call for a vote on the remote policy as amended. Do we have a motion? Do we need a motion to that? We already had the
We have a motion and second
All
on the
right,
floor.
And we have a second. Do we need a roll call vote for that? Yes. I would like a roll call vote for that. Everyone understand what they're voting for?
Who made that motion?
The original one?
I have the original one, yes, ma'am.
Okay, who made that?
Motion as amended. I have Councilmember Passman first, second by Ms. Brown.
Okay.
Councilmember Passman,
No.
Councilmember Brown,
Yes.
Councilmember Reeds,
Yes.
Councilmember McKellen?
Sorry, it's been so long. Can you clarify the motion for me?
To approve the item as amended.
A little more than that.
Is
The resolution is amended.
as amended, allowing for the grandfathering of the 3 employees that were voted on positively as the amendment. So now it's our remote policy, but as amended to allow the 3 current employees who are virtual to remain virtual. No other employee, county employee, will be allowed.
Councilmember Lawson?
Mark Lawson, yes.
Councilmember Glover?
No.
Councilmember Cunningham?
Yes.
Councilmember Bartholomew?
Yes.
Vice Chair Tabernick?
Yes.
Chair Howard?
No.
The motion passes.
Okay.
Just a point of clarification to be clear for the record. When you talk about grandfathering the 3, it's those 3 specific employees, not 3 employees total for that department, but those 3 specific employees are grandfathered.
Yep.
I would ask the maker of the motion if that's what he meant.
No, it's just clarifying what they meant by grandfathering.
I would ask the maker of the motion.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Thank
Okay,
you.
for the record, yes. All right. Okay, moving on to 14B, 2026/02, a resolution to accept South Carolina Aeronautics Commercial Airport Entitlement Grant in the amount of $42,625 for approach tree mitigation at Hilton Head Airport.
I will move the motion.
I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? No discussion? All in favor signify by raising your hand, and that is unanimous. All right, C, 2026-03, a resolution to accept the South Carolina Aeronautics Commission State Local Airport Development Grant in the amount of $46,775 for design and permitting services related to the relocation of the Beaufort Executive Airport's existing automated weather observing system, AWAS.
So
Contingent.
moved, Madam Chairman.
We have a motion by Councilman Glover.
I'll second.
And a second by Vice Chair Tabernick. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? And that is approved unanimously. There being no further business, we are adjourned. Okay.
Before 9 o'clock.